It's your girl Lavida Loca with DJ Firestar on Influential Records. We're gonna get into my influential records and make sure you stay locked.
DJ Firestar keeping it smashed.
DJ Firestar, Spotify, Influential Records, Season 2. And someone I've been waiting to get on the series for a minute. Lavida Loca in the building, UK in the building. One of my favorite spitters. So I had to bring her on. I had to put you people up. And we got her in the building, man. What's good?
What's good? Thank you for having me, man. I know this thing is definitely long overdue, but I'm glad that we're finally here.
100%. Now, for the people locked in who might not be familiar, let them know a little bit about who you are, the music you make. For me personally, I first heard about you from one of your early releases, The King's Back.
That was my first release.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, this is greasy, like paying attention. And then a couple of releases later, I remember getting a record with you and CS on it, produced by Bio Music. That's my guy.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I mess with all of this. So obviously that was a couple years ago now. But like I said, for the people locked in, tell the people like what you're repping, the kind of music you make, and what you're all about if they don't know.
So me as an artist, Lavida Loca, like the main thing about me is having like multiple sides, and there's more than just what meets the eye. Like I feel like people meet me and they wouldn't know my background is my background. They wouldn't assume that I've been to prison. They wouldn't assume my life has been my life because of the way I speak, the way I articulate myself, the way I carry myself. And I've always been that way. Like I've never been like, road girl, bad girl, what's good fam, and da-da-da-da. Like I've always been like this and just been someone that's ended up being caught up in crimes and going to prison and living the life that I've lived. So I like the fact that people can get to know the different sides to Lavida Loca. It's not even sides, it's layers, the different layers to me. So obviously I named my first project Two Sides because I just kind of wanted to like emphasize on the whole, like I said, people look at me and think one thing, but my life has been another because you can't judge a book by its cover in a sense. And then there's also the fact of there is different sides to me anyway. Like I'm not defined by jail and road and trapping and all these things that, we talk about in music. I'm more than that. I'm still like girly. I still go through relationships and heartbreaks and love and, the shit that girls do at 23. Like, I still want people to kind of get to know that. And it's been a little bit of a battle because people just, at first, because I came out with such a heavy freestyle, like you said, The King's Back, that was so breezy. I feel like people wanted to just hold me to that bad girl, hood girl, like, status. And it's like, I've already done 4 years in jail, bro. I don't want to hold on to this whole image any longer than I have to.
Right.
Like, I'm happy to be able to grow. And luckily, people have grown with me and kind of seen my journey progress to the point now we've had my last EP, which was Just Because. And there's different types of music on there. There's one drill song, and then pretty much the whole EP is quite singy, and there's also different topics on there, like I said, about love and cheating, and what else is on there? I'm just talking, just me, just being more than what they thought Lavida Loca would be. So that's what Lavida Loca is. Everything they said I wouldn't be, and I'm only going to continue to kind of do that.
No, that's crazy. That's a sick insight. Like, but going back to that first release, like, how have you found the kind of entry into this game? Like, what's it been like for you? Like, you talk about
it's been interesting, Firestar.
Yeah, you talk about the layers, but go on.
Yeah. Since, do you know what I've learned? It depends what aspects of music you mean. Like in terms of myself, I've learned a lot. In terms of the business and the music industry, I've learned a lot. So it's like everything has been kind of overwhelming. I feel like I was a bit more naive when I was in jail. Like in jail, I was just penning and just writing bars. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to jump into music and, I'm going to make it. And I still know I'm going to make it. But it's like I didn't think about the other factors of music. And I'm not realizing like this whole industry is like a dog-eat-dog world. And there's a lot of fake people. There's a lot of things you have to be wary of. People want to use you. People don't actually have your best interests at heart. There's so many things to it where I never ever thought of that. All of that went over my head because I was just seeing the dream. But now I've had to go through it now. The King's Back where, I went viral everywhere and having everybody throw themselves at me in the industry. And I've had to learn the hard way on who's genuine, who really does care, and who's here for the clout and who's here for, what they think I'm going to become, or kind of like the high moments and the viral moments and all that stuff. So there's been that. But then I just feel like also saying that the journey's just been absolutely amazing. Like I couldn't, like, I don't know, I would never have imagined my first 3 years out of jail would look like this.
Yeah.
You know, going to performing at Wireless and other festivals, and now I've acted in a film, big up Femi and Nikki Slimting. They've done a film Chapping. There's me, Abra, CBiz. That's coming out in cinemas this year. Like, you know, I performed at the BBC, and you know, I've got 1 million streams on my first project. All these things are happening, and I would have never ever thought from the King's Back, that one freestyle, this is where I'd be. So it's very overwhelming. There's a lot to kind of process, especially when, don't forget, I'm dealing with, you know, I came out of jail after a long time. I've had to also deal with life, like, you know, getting used to society again, my house, you know, dealing with myself, my stability, my mental health. So it's like dealing with the whole music thing and the transition of life while trying to figure life out at the same time. So it's been a lot.
Because of what you went through before and the jail thing, like, and you've touched on it from the jump, like that there's loads of different layers and sides that you want to show and have showed, but obviously going forward there'll be more. But obviously with that first release being so greasy and the background, is it even more challenging and harder to show those other sides going forward?
Yeah, definitely, because like once you get, say, like that freestyle sent me viral and everything went crazy for me. When you like say build a fan base off of one, like say a certain kind of vibe, it's hard for them to understand you on another vibe kind of thing. But then that's why also I'm very like strong about not wanting to like have my peak on drill music. So I don't like drill music much. I make drill music just because I can do drill. I can do any genre because I'm talented and I like my pen. But I don't like drill. It's my least favorite genre. Now I've got new management. I'm being able to explore in different kinds of like sounds, from R&B to pop to kind of like what I've done on Just Because. I gave them a little sample of what else I wanted to do, like the trap soul beat with Toxic, and we've done R&B with New Numbers This and Woo also. Like I've tried to give people to, I want people to hear, not just hear me say, oh yeah, I want to do all these genres, hear that I can do it, and then kind of take me in as I'm growing. So I've been big on not wanting my peak to come off drill. So I'm kind of like leaving that alone a little bit. And still, you're going to hear, I love hip hop, that's my favorite. So you're going to hear the hip hop and the rap beats. But the one genre I think I'm falling back on the most is drill. I'm not really big on that because I don't want to start something I'm not going to finish. And once, like I said, you build a foundation based on one thing, people have a very hard time seeing you transition into something else. So I'm not really to be like hard on myself about that. The fact that it has been hard because of the King's Back, because my fan base is only at like 17,000 followers on Instagram. I still have so many thousands to go. Like, and them people will get to know me based on what I'm doing now and what I'm trying to do as I go on. So no, I'm just gonna do me, man. I'm not gonna be scared to be innovative and break boundaries. And I think that's just, I just have to think that way.
Yeah, no, that's super refreshing, and it's early, so you can make that, have that impact and have that influence on people. Do you know what I mean? It's a journey, and the fact that you're strong-minded about where you represent and where you want to go and what you like and dislike. You know what I mean? Listeners are gonna mess with it. They're gonna have to take it in. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have to.
So what?
The new music I've been working on is absolutely crazy. So, you know, I hope that when I do finally release I'm just gonna release my first single of the year in March. So I hope that, you know, everybody receives it well and kind of hears my growth, because I've definitely grown my pen, everything is just on a whole other level now. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of show what I've been doing. Before
we get into your influential record selection, I like to set the tone for the people locked in who might not be familiar. So what we're going to do is we'll pick a couple records from your catalogue. I'm going to ask you to pick, say, 3. We jump into the first one. Tell us which one you're going with, the reason why you've picked this record, maybe the story behind it.
The first record I think should be I Been featuring CS. Only because that song means so much to me. It was my first single. So before that, I'd only released 2 freestyles, which was The King's Back and No ID. This was my first single, my first song. Like, you know, it was like when I first signed to like my first manager, and it was kind of like the beginning of everything. So this was kind of like the start for me. And big up CS as well, because, you know, like he did not have to do that feature, but he just fucked with me heavy. And a lot of males will fuck with you, but this doesn't mean they're going to do a song with you, you know. CS has definitely just supported me from the beginning, been solid. Like, and it's just been it was an amazing like experience to go through for my first single, as well as my first feature. You know, someone you don't have to ask to post the song or post the artwork or post it, they just do it. You know, just little things like that. So yeah, definitely the whole song means a lot to me, so I would want to start there.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a cold link up.
Okay, so we're going to be playing Lavida Loca featuring CS IB.
Let's keep it moving on the episode. Let's get into a second pick from yourself from the catalogue. What we going with? Tell me the story.
The second song that I would pick is going to be New Number Who's This. There's no video to it, but it's a song on my latest project, Just Because. And I think this song means a lot to me because it's my favourite song on the project, for one. And I think it shows a lot of growth in me as an artist, from where I began to where I am and where I'm trying to go. There's definitely a different kind of sound. Not many people hear me on R&B, but I love the song, and it's also true. It's something I was going through at the time when I wrote that song. Like, I was going through heartbreak, I was going through so much. I hate boys. But so the song means a lot to me in general, and I just want people to hear, like I said, from where I've come from, where I am, where I'm going. So I think that's definitely a great place to start. So this is Lavida Loca, New Number Who's This.
Influential Records, Lavida Loca in the building. Your third record to set the tone on the episode. Where are we going?
My third record to set the tone. This is only a feature, but I love this song because, well, big up SB. It's SB featuring Lavida Loca, Nunu, but this song means so much to me because I love SB. I've been rocking with her from when I first heard her rap. Like, she is very, 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 very fucking cold. So when she asked me to be on this song, I was just like, let's go. I wrote the verse the same day. I called her at like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, listen to what I done. And I spat it to her over the phone. She absolutely loved it. The rest was history. We've done the song. And you know what it is? It's just so refreshing to have, just like, you know, a barrer. She can really, really bar. Like, you know, for females, there's not many, we don't have many people who are actually barrers anymore. Like, you know, we've got the old school, like the Lady Alicia Noles and Lionesses and Miss Brat, but in terms of what's happening now, there's not many actual barrers, lyricists, and I pride myself and hope to be able to say I can call myself one, but it's nice to be able to come across more females, because the more of us there is, the stronger we are, you know. So I'm only here to support females I absolutely love. So yeah, big up SB. So like I said, this is SB featuring Lavida Loca, Nunu.
And for the people locked in, take this one in, man. There's been a lot of people talking about this record, talking about the link up, and obviously we've got to big up SB as well. She's dropped the project. You know what I mean?
Yes. Big up SB. She dropped the project off license yesterday, but it's on streaming platforms. Make sure you go check it out. I'm on track number 3, but the whole project is fire. 17 minutes of greatness. Make sure you actually go through that.
Let's get into your first influential record. Tell me what it is, the story behind the tune, and introduce it.
My first influential record, I would say, is Mobb Deep featuring Lil Kim, Quiet Storm.
Banger.
But this song choice for me is mainly because of Kim. Like, that's the first time I heard Kim when I was a child, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, you know, I'd never heard female rap like that. I've heard like Salt and Pepper and Queen Latifah because of my auntie, like, in the household, but I'd never heard a female rap like Kim, have sexiness like Kim, but still the gutter like Kim. Like, it was just kind of something new, and obviously as a child you don't really understand it, but I still remember being like wowed by whoever this is on this chorus. So yeah, that's where my love for Lil Kim came from. Then I started to see her more, like, you know, Lady Marmalade, and all the things she was doing back then. But I think Mobb Deep and her Quiet Storm, that remix, was the first time I heard her. So this has to be my first influential record, because without the female rappers that inspire me, there would be no Lavida Loca, and that starts at Kim. You know, it starts at Lil Kim. So yeah, I'd say Mobb Deep featuring Lil Kim, Quiet Storm remix.
Big selection. One of my favorite records as well. I'm a big
Love that.
I'm a big Mobb Deep fan, and the remix with Kim, just absolute fire. Like, just a legendary record, that one. So we're gonna run this one loud. That was the first influential record, Mobb Deep, the remix, Quiet Storm, Lil Kim, Lavida Loca in the building.
Hello.
Let's get into your second influential record. What are we going with, and the story?
My second influential record. Okay, where would I go? So while I'm on the line of female rappers, Nicki Minaj is next. I feel like Nicki Kim had a huge movement, but no one had a bigger movement than Kim until like Nicki Minaj. So I naturally growing up grew to love Nicki more because she was who I like actually grew up with. Like followed singles when singles were dropping. Like I had her MAC lipstick. It was too light for me, but I ended up like, pushing my parents to buy it for me. I was like, buy it, I need Nicki Minaj's lipstick. Her perfumes. I loved it. I loved Nicki. I grew up on Nicki. I discovered Nicki in 2007. And she was still very, very fresh. Like she was just doing DVDs and dropping mixtapes. She dropped another mixtape in 2008. Loved her. And I think without her, I would have never even tried to ever pen. So, like, as in Kim, I heard Nicki made me want to try, if that makes sense.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely Nicki plays a big part. I think my favourite song by Nicki Minaj. Oh, it's so hard. I don't have a favourite. I love her, all her stuff.
Give us one. Give us one we can run.
Oh, what's my... All right, cool. I will say, because we haven't had an album for her and we're all waiting for her new album, I'll pick a song from the Queen album and I'm going to go with Ganja Burn because I feel like that just shows more... Like, it shows Nicki's always been a barra, but it also shows Nicki as an artist. Nicki is a genius, you know? And it was, I think, a perfect way to open her album. So, yeah, I'll go with Ganja Burn.
Let's jump into a third one. What are you going with?
A third one, my third influential record is going to be... All right, cool. Oh, do you know what it is? Although, it's like, it's not something I play on the set now anymore, but it has to be said because it does mean something to me. So I'm going to say Game Over by Giggs, by Chip. There was so many men on that
Tiny.
record.
There was loads of people on that. Yeah.
But I want the Game Over remix by the females, which has Lady Leisha, has Mr. Brat, has Rough Diamonds, has Cherry B, has Baby Blue. Forgive me if I'm forgetting anybody, I think I am. But yeah, no, that was the first time I heard female, UK female rap. Before that, I did not know it existed. I had never ever heard a UK rapper with my accent writing raps. I'd never ever heard that. So that's the first time I heard that. And then when I heard that, that's when I was like, oh shit, like it blew my mind. Imagine your whole life all you've heard is Americans rap. You don't even think this exists in your country. So then the first time I heard it, like I felt like I'd been living in a cave. Because then when I've researched everyone and started doing background checks, you lot been making music for years. Where have I been? Obviously I was just young, you know. So that's the first time I was 12. I remember I was 12 when I heard that remix. And then for me, that's when I thought, right, cool, like I can actually be a rapper. Like I can actually do this. Like this is what I want to do. Like it was so inspiring for me. That was such a game changer for me. So it's so funny the song's called Game Over. But yeah, no, that's definitely an influential record. I big up all the ladies on it because without them, I don't think it would have died. There would not be a Lavida Loca. There's so many people I think responsible for who I am and how I've crafted myself as an artist. Like it comes from so many places. And yeah, I think this is definitely something I would highlight in my life at 12 years old. So I'm going to go with the Game Over remix by the lovely ladies. Like I said, all the names, you know who's going to be on it.
Before we run this one, who went the hardest on the record? If you remember.
Ooh, who went the hardest? Miss Brat. But to be fair, I think Miss Brat, like lyrically, for me, I think I will class her as one of my top. I think she is at the top for me personally. Female UK rappers I've heard lyrically, Miss Brat. I feel like if you heard her, go and listen to her SBTV. It was like maybe 9-10 years ago. She is a barra, like she actually bars, you know. And because she didn't, continue her career, like she kind of left the limelight and continued on to do her life. I feel like people forget her when mentioning the best in the UK when she is fucking cold. Like, yeah, definitely Miss Brat. Miss Brat, I love. She changed her name to Cleopatra. Cleopatra, Miss Brat, I love you wherever you are.
Love that. You got 3 selections there. Do you want to do a fourth?
I do want to do a fourth because...
Hit me.
Okay, cool. My fourth, I think, would be... cool. Do I want to do a fourth or do I want to do 5?
Let's do it.
But you know what? I would say I'll do a fourth because it can include both of my favourite artists. So I'm going to do Eminem and Rihanna, Love the Way You Lie. Because both of these artists influence me as well. Eminem, lyrically... especially as of recently, you can hear in my new music how I've tried to touch on my influences a lot more, which is tracks that are obviously coming out. But Eminem's been a big influence for me in terms of knowing I'm not at the bar I want to be at yet. You know, not because I've made music that resembles him, but because I know I can learn from you. That I actually sit and listen to you and learn from you, your cadence, your animation, your flows. There's so much to Eminem, and that's why he is the most, in my opinion, the most successful rapper in the world, because I feel like he is actually the best. Like, I feel like, so although not many people agree, but I think he just has he has all the boxes ticked, and he knows how to do everything. Whereas, you know, there can be a Jay-Z that does 8 out of 10, but, you know, you don't rap fast and you can't change your flows like this, or, you know, and there's still a level to you. There's still a layer that Eminem can unlock that Jay-Z hasn't. Not because Jay-Z's not a goat in his own right, but because, for me, the only person I've seen that has actually done everything that a rapper should have,
Facts.
Eminem, for me, has cracked it, from storytelling to rawness to, there's so much, you know, vulnerability, like I said, cadence, flow, having different flows, being able to rap from this highest tempo to the lowest, that, you know, you can do so much. Like, you know, you can kill a BPM that most people can't, and you can actually rap that and catch that, and you can do that live. Not many people can do that. So, you know, having someone who's unlocked every level, for me, that's very inspirational. So Eminem, and then Rihanna too, because, yeah, she's been an inspirational music for my whole life. So, yeah, it's going to be Eminem, Rihanna, Love Wayline.
Before I let you run out of it, couple questions.
Okay.
Currently, what is on Lavida Loca's playlist? What are you messing with? What are you feeling out?
What am I messing with right now? So Gunna just dropped his album, but my favourite song on there is You and Me with Chloe Bailey. Like, I definitely have that on repeat. Naturally, I always listen to Doja Cat. I love Doja Cat. Like, she is one of the newest artists I've added to my inspiration roster. Like, she inspires me as well. You're going to hear that more in the new music. Like, yeah, I love Doja Cat. And you know what? It's mad I'm saying that now, because before, I wasn't told that. I think my new management have also helped me understand, like, you know, it's okay to be different. Your inspirations are different to that of a normal rapper in UK rap. Most people, you know, are inspired by Nines and this person and Gigs and da-da-da. So the music they make is different, and they sound like their inspirations. You sound nothing like your inspirations. You sound like you're trying to fit in an industry that makes you think your inspiration should be that. So they've helped me embrace the fact that my inspirations are Doja and Nicki and and this. So my new music is completely different. Like, it's definitely me. It's music that I never used to listen to my own music because I don't feel like I loved it enough. Now I sit and literally bang my unreleased tunes because I really love them. So I feel like I've unlocked a whole new thing. So yeah, Doja is definitely a new inspiration. I think you're going to hear that in a couple of songs that got coming out too. But yeah, no, I've always loved her. So she's always on repeat. Her album Planet Her. UK wise, who am I listening to a lot in the UK? So obviously SB's EP has come out, so I've been listening to that. I've been listening to that all day today because that it's very cold. Who else do I really listen to? Doja, Nicki. I love Ariana Grande. Like, I love pop. I don't know. Like, you know, my mixtape, Janae Aiko. Okay. I love Janae. I love Summer Walker. I love the R&B girls. I definitely love R&B. Rap, I think, is weird because I don't really listen to it in my free time. I feel like because I listen to it a lot when, you know, working. Yeah. You know, I do listen to a lot of rap albums and a lot of rap bodies of work, but because I'm a rapper, I listen to it different. It's no longer listening to chill. It's now listening to hear, you know, to grow from, to learn from, basically. It's kind of like homework almost. So the love
you're always breaking it down, like, in your head, and listening to something.
I'm breaking down, you know, this metaphor. That's smart. A double. I can't even pronounce it. And a triple one. And, you know, like, I'm breaking down, like, the lyricism rather than sitting and listening to the song. So I found that since I've been at a certain point in my career and my mindset, it's hard for me to process rap music by just chilling. So it's definitely, in a weird way, taking away my love for rap. But I guess it's also gonna be that for until I've made it to where I want to make it to. Maybe everybody feels that pressure, I guess, as, you know, an upcoming person, what kind of music you're doing. So I don't know, I've accepted that, but I think a lot of time I chill is pop for me, R&B, you know, that's it really. Reggae, I love reggae. Been listening to Lila Ike and Who else? There's quite a few. Izzy Israel. I listen to, Popcorn, and I like Bashman, Lady Soul, Old School. So, anything that just takes me away from what I feel like is my life is great for me. Like, it's time out.
What's cooking over the next 12 months? Let the people know, like, what's coming. You've been in the studio as well, heavy. I know, we were talking yesterday, like, tell the people what's going on.
I've been in the studio heavy. Like, do you know what? Like I said, obviously I've touched on the fact I've got a new team officially now, and we're in January. We've been working, so now I've got, new music that, like I said, they've been supporting me to make, and they kind of let me see things from a different mind frame. So then that means my pen is just definitely changing to like a completely different kind of way, and the music that I've been working on is actually crazy. So I'm definitely excited to start releasing that. My first drop is going to be in March, and yeah, like, it's just going to be consistent this year. It's not going to be like last year. I think it's the hardest year I had in music, because also I feel like I was just balancing life, and I was moving as well into my permanent flat and just trying to sort everything out in life in general. And I don't think I had the right management that was best suited for me, which is why it was also time to kind of break away from that and find something new. And that's why I'm so excited about this year, because we're all on the same page, and it's basically being supported to do everything that I want to do. So one thing for me, the main important thing was being consistent. Like, my thing is consistency. I need to keep giving the people who support me music, and I was so heavy on that before I went with any new management. Like, can you guarantee me consistency? Because like, we want that, I want that, my locals want that, we all want that. So that's going to be a huge thing for me this year. I'm going to keep dropping. The music is on a different level, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited to see. I hope to have my headline show at the end of this year, because I want to drop another project this year, another mixtape, but no pressure on myself. I don't know, we'll see.
How, before I let you go as well, you touched on it, but without kind of maybe going too deep, how, with everything that you've experienced so far and the management situation, a question that I ask a lot of artists that come through is, how important or how difficult is it to find the right connection management wise, and also the same question in relation to like people around you in general, you know what I mean? Like, life's crazy at the best of times. Like, how do you navigate through things like the right people around you, and you're still learning, but there's still artists that are coming from below you. What would you say to them? Like, how do they, you know what I mean? How do you navigate, man?
It's mad, because the only reason why I've got to where like I'm here now is because I've learned the hard way. I'm someone that has to learn the hard way. So in terms of advice, I can give you advice, but not based on what I've done. Because what I've done is, like I said, I've learned the hard way. I've gone through like a shitty situation. I've had to come out of it. But the good thing is, I believe in myself to know no one is going to be the reason why I don't make it. And also, it wasn't like just picking any management. So many people want to throw themselves at you. For me, it's finding the right management to the point where I have. And I've been self-managing for 4 months, which is hard. It's very hard managing yourself, but I had to bite that bullet in order to make sure, after learning it the hard way, that I'm going to sift through everything and have a real process in finding who's best match for me, my mental health, and my music. It's not just music. And a lot of managers just want to come on this music thing. It's not just that. Like, to be able to make music, your head has to be right. And so you have to, I think for one, the biggest thing to do when looking for managers is not just finding managers who have something in common with you in terms of your dream and what you want to do with your music, but finding managers who have the same values as you as a human being. So, if you're someone who's very loyal, you need someone who has the same values of loyalty. Like, say, for example, you support a football team. Like, my dad supported Liverpool my whole life. I support Liverpool too, and I'm moving from there. But, that shows my value of loyalty, because I've stuck loyal to a club that's let me down multiple times. You're up right now.
You're up right now. Huh? You Liverpool are up right now, man. Like,
they are now, but in terms of, even from my whole life, it's been been up and down, and people then ask you, why you support Liverpool? But it's like it sounds something so small, but it's just having you can clock someone's values without having a relationship with them, just by asking them questions. And I think that's what I've had to learn. It's not about what we have in common or what we want to both do musically. Do you have the same values as me as a human being? If not, then we're not going to work. And I think that's how I've ended up finding the best managers for me. So I think that's the advice I can give to any upcoming artists. I think definitely don't rush and take your time. Like, pre somebody, it's in your hands. And if somebody makes you feel pressured or makes you feel bad for taking longer time to sign a contract with them because you want to scope out the situation and they're not for you, because it's the reason why they wanted to rush you and put you in a contract and put you in a permanent situation, you have all the time that you need. If it takes you 3 months to figure out this person, it takes you 3 months, and that person, because they believe in your talent and have the best interest, your best interest at heart, they're not going to rush you or press you. So I think everybody should just do that. I think it's definitely just taking time to figure people out, and that's the only advice I can give. And then you make the best choice that you can based off the information you've been given. And yeah, definitely don't let no one pressure you into rushing your shit. Take your time. I just think that's the most important thing when it comes to managers or people who you want to fuck with in the industry. It's just taking your time, because true colours show. People can't keep up forever, you know. So yeah,